How's it going, everybody? We're back here at the Old Gory Red Report. I'm Mark Anthony with KCJ. We're here with the Republic Talk. We have two special guests today. We have Omar Gonzalez, Communications Manager with Sacramento Republic FC, and we have Republic superfan William Lam.
Hey.
We're going to be here talking a few different things. Coming at you next. Alright guys, thanks for coming out today. Again, we're with our special guest, William Lam, Republic superfan, and Omar Gonzalez, Communications Manager with SRFC.
Thanks for coming out, guys. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks
for
you.
having us. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks guys. So season so far, we started off a little hot. I think recently we've stumbled a little bit. The ups and downs of going through a season, but Omar, what have you seen out there from the guys this season?
I think given everything, it's been a great season so far, and I think the key to keep in mind is context, right? It's almost a whole brand new team, new coaching staff, and up until the San Antonio game recently, we pretty much were tied for the best start in franchise history with the 2016 season. So I think given all that, given the crazy schedule and the U.S. Open Cup on top of that, all things given, it's been a pretty good start in my opinion.
Yeah,
I am biased, though, of course.
No, I agree, though. And you mentioned it. We started off with what a franchise best performance to start the season. So all in all, I mean, we're feeling like, where is our season going to go from here? But, when you do bring that up with the context, with the perspective, you can definitely see that we've had a good season so far. Yeah. Hopefully we're going back on the ascension. But, William, thanks for coming out again, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate your support, man. You're one of our best fans at the club, so I just want to say we appreciate you.
No problem.
So the U.S. Open Cup, I mean, you're probably pretty excited about how we did, right?
Yeah, exactly right, because I know the U.S. Open Cup has gone so well, because I know the Republic FC did manage it very close to make it to the quarterfinals for the first time, but this is the second time overall since they did made it. I think the brand new coach and the staff, as what Omar mentioned earlier, did really improve the Republic FC fan base and the whole team, because it does seem much more like a better intimate players with much more loyalty to everyone. That makes it what fans really wanted to show for.
It really revitalized the energy that the club had. We did see a little bit of slowing in that energy and fans not showing up to games and not really giving us the audience that we wanted to last season. So I think that has really brought some momentum, bringing those new players in.
That's right.
And with Clemente coming back, that exciting news.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to shift the game for us? Do you think maybe he can add that momentum back that we may have not seen these last few games?
Yes, of course. Because I know the Emrah Clemente. I know he's been a long-term Republic FC player back in the very beginning.
He's got the most minutes that we've ever had out of a player, right? I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Most appearances and starts when he played minutes as well.
Yeah, exactly right.
Club legend, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
yeah, it's nice talking about the Open Cup. I mean, this is now 2 seasons in a row that we're one of the remaining USL sides left in the tournament. So it's nice to kind of have that badge, right? To be the USL team that these MLS teams can't take lightly. And if they put out one of their B or C type rosters against us, then they're probably gonna take a loss, So Emrah's back this weekend.
That's gonna be huge for the rest of the season, I think.
Yeah. It's going to be great. The new black kits will be unveiled. What's your guys' impression so far? I mean, I know that you had a chance, William, to take a look at it up close and personal, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Because we know how the Sacramento Republic FC account to me since a few weeks ago that I'm the only lucky selector person who wants to head down to an unwanted photo shoot opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I said, why not? I'll try it out. And so me and of course in some Talbridge, a battalion fan base, because I know they're probably the most.
Yeah, they were quite a few.
Including Manuel and even Yeah, there are lots of huge fan base people because I know they've been kind of been unveiled something a little bit incredibly different. They did unveil the black jersey for the first time to make it mark the commitment of the 5th anniversary of the franchise.
Which was very exciting. I think I'm a big fan of the jersey. I like it.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of black, though, so it fits my wardrobe quite
even
well.
though the black does seem a little bit helpful for me. That makes it much more like like wearing a suit and tie attire, but would more look like a soccer type environment.
So with all the excitement going, how have you guys had it over at the club?
It's been crazy. It's been busy right now, obviously, with the whole 5-year anniversary. Actually, what you mentioned, the photo shoot, you can actually watch that on our social media channels. A little behind-the-scenes video
that'd be cool.
of that photo shoot that happened because, they had to keep it a secret for a little bit, and I appreciate that. Hopefully the fans enjoy the surprise. I'm a little biased, but I think it's a good-looking kit. Black's actually been part of our history. If you actually look back to the first season, a lot of our merchandise was in black. So there is a bit of a connection. I know that was kind of a complaint from some fans, but there is a tie-in, and it looks good too, I think. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I think we can include that link in our video. So
we'll put it down in the description section.
Yeah, you'll see that below. So back to the season. I mean, we got Monarchs coming up this weekend, with the excitement of Clementa's return, and a chance for us to take on first place team in the Western Conference. You guys feel that it's a big game for us coming in? Maybe a little bit bigger than a normal game, like maybe playing St. Louis or Fresno or one of those teams?
Yeah, I think the battle against Real Monarchs could be the hugest opportunity because I know they've been ranked first on the on the USL Western Conference ranking, and I think that would be the perfect idea to make it much more like a big anniversary party to make this game happening on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I mean, the way the Western Conference is right now, it's a pretty tight race. We have people on our backs, so every game from now on is pretty much a big game. And especially when you take on the conference leaders, someone that we should have maybe beat earlier in the season. But you're at home, it's the 5th anniversary celebration, so it's going to be a big game no matter what.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it in previous videos where we've kind of slipped down with Reno getting the result recently, and that table's tight from 8th to 1st. We've got a few points behind, but we got a big gap ahead. So there's more likely we're going to lose ground. So it's going to be key for us to get a win in this one.
Exactly right. Because I know how the head coach Simon really wants. Because they wanted to make sure each of the players will try hard and be much more the best they can. Because I know they can handle it on Saturday night.
They need that mentality shift.
Yeah.
Yes,
and we talked about it before, like. Being second is almost as good as being first in terms of the standings because when you get to the playoffs, you're on the other side of the bracket, so you have home games until you at least get to the Western Conference final, right?
That's looking on the bright side.
Right. So it is important because we're going into this game now sitting in 5th that we win some of these games coming up so we can be closer to the top rather than scraping for a playoff spot or for a first-round home game, right? So... moving on, World Cup. World Cup's been a great tournament, in my opinion. My team, Portugal, we lost, but all in all, I've felt that it's been a very fun tournament. A lot of goals being scored. Omar, what's your impression on the tournament so far?
I mean, I'm not that old, but to me, it's the best World Cup I've seen.
Yeah, I agree with Omar.
I mean, if anything, maybe 2006 is memorable to me because I was in Europe my first time in Europe when that World Cup took place. So when you're in that environment, it's a lot more fun. But I think even as a neutral for a lot of fans, especially like American fans who the U.S. wasn't in this tournament, I think this has been a great cup to follow. So many upsets, so many, like you said, goals. Right? We had 1-0-0 draw so late in the tournament, which is phenomenal. I remember 2010, I believe, was such a kind of a dour affair in that regard. So I think it's been a great cup. I'm a little bummed out myself because Mexico got eliminated as well. We're a little early.
They had a good tournament, though, Yeah,
they've been playing so well here.
We got some great memes out of that game, too. So.
with the Neymar Jr. Just keep trying to pretend it like that.
Well, it's just like with Mexico, for example. Like, they played so well those first 2 games, and because they lost that 3rd game, they had to play Brazil. Like, if they go to the other side of the bracket and play Switzerland, I mean... you win that game, and then you play England, and you never know. I mean, it's just it's one of those tournaments where one little mishap or slip up can change, your fate, right? So.
And it's such a game-by-game thing. Especially once you're out of the group and you're in the quarters, like one bad game is the end of your tournament.
Yeah.
And so, if Mexico does beat Sweden, they get so much more opportunity not facing Brazil, and it's tough to come against Brazil. Belgium's going to have that challenge next. And I'm a Belgium fan. That's who I'm supporting. I kind of thought that was a team that could win this from the beginning, and so I'm seeing them take that big challenge. What do you guys think is the biggest challenge going into this next round? Who do you think is going to have the struggle to get through?
Well, the only thing I've been coverage for the 2018 World Cup since the very beginning, because I know there are really big, good countries to compete on.
Yeah.
Even though for the quarterfinals, which is still happening right now, it is getting a little bit much more risky challenge. But the only thing, the better challenge, just that might go a little bit farther as what you're predicting for it is Belgium.
Yeah.
I think Belgium is definitely going to take a better advantage to win for the World Cup.
It's going to be tough to get through Brazil, though.
Yeah, for Brazil, they are
it's a
really
marquee game of this round, I believe.
Tomorrow.
I was going to say, my one critique of the Cup so far is the way the bracket ended up.
Yeah.
For the round
Top
of 16.
heavy.
And so it's very, exactly, right? Like, you look at England's side of it, and you're like, dang, that's a nice place to be right now.
It's a good path.
But on the flip side, you get these marquee matchups like Brazil, Belgium, France, Uruguay. Those are going to be great games. But that just means that one less obstacle for the other side of the bracket when they get to that semifinal or final.
Yeah. So Omar, who do you have from here on out? Like, who do you think, with your head, who's going to be the champion?
That's a tricky one. It's funny. One of my coworkers had Croatia in the final. And that hot take's not so hot anymore on that side of the bracket. I don't know if they'll win it, but France looks good. I'm not 100% convinced on Brazil yet. They have the quality, but they haven't shown me that they can really go all the way compared to a France or Belgium. So I think I have France, Croatia right now in the final.
France, Croatia. Okay, Croatia's got the stellar midfield play. Luka Modric might be having the best tournament so far. And then on the flip side, France has, a ridiculous amount of attacking talent on that team. It's a joke. They have guys like Lacazette and Martial who couldn't even make the roster.
And they're going to challenge tournaments to come.
And those guys would
This is just a start for that team. So
Lacazette and Martial could star for many teams that are still remaining in the tournament.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Yeah.
It was more of a continuation of the Euro, I think, if anything. They should have probably won that, to be honest.
I mean,
exactly right.
I know you got the result you wanted.
I don't believe you, but
that's all lies. All lies.
The best team won. I think we can agree on that. But you're right. France. It's been a few years now that they've been a solid team, and then not only that, but you bring in Mbappe, who wasn't even a part of that team, and now he's maybe the face of the team, So, him, Pogba, Griezmann. It's kind of disgusting how good they are. How much talent they have at their disposal. It's been a great tournament. I know a big talking point of the tournament has been the use and the implementation of V.A.R. Me and Casey discussed it. We had a video just talking about this subject, but I kind of feel like it's been good so far. There is maybe calls that we won't agree on because there's still going to be a subjective nature to a lot of these calls. Is it a penalty or not? Is it a handball or not? A lot of these things, being fans of the game like we are, your opinion of a handball might be different than Casey's, and that might be different than mine, right? So, with that being said, Omar, what's your take of V.A.R. and how it's been used?
I'm for VAR. I think anytime your team's been negatively affected by a bad call, know it up and up. From 4 years ago, right? You wish there was another alternative, right? Is it perfect? No, far from it. But like you said, I think the biggest issue for them to overcome isn't even so much the time anymore, because that'll get quick with technology and the rest getting used to it. It's more which calls do you review or not, right? Because to me, they reviewed, Chicharito's in the Sweden game, Mexico-Sweden, they reviewed his handball, but not the actual penalty kick call, which made it 2-0 and actually killed the game pretty much at that point. So to me, that deserves a look at. And so it's like, when do you choose to use VAR and when do you not? And that's going to be the biggest, I think, issue moving forward for the system.
Yeah, I agree, because I know VAR does seem to much more help on every soccer games.
Yeah.
Because even besides, I didn't know the World Cup has been used, but I'm sure it could use on each of every multi-platforms.
Yeah.
That might get going to be easier to help to recognize if they want to need to use the penalty or possibly for the head kick shootout.
Yeah.
That might be other helpful resources to make it the VAR much more active, not just for World Cup, but for everyone of the soccer league.
And it being in the World Cup, that's a good start to kind of encourage other leagues to adopt it. You know, once the World Cup takes it on, and a lot of rules happen this way, once the World Cup kind of adapts it, some other leagues start to be more open to it. And we've seen it in certain leagues already take place. And they do get the decisions right. You will get faster over time. So I've been a component. We talked about it. I'm a component for it. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, one of the the criticisms is it takes away from like the moment, right? The passion. Like if it's the 91st minute and it's 1-1 or 1-0, and is it a penalty? Is it not? But it takes 6 minutes to figure it out. I'm exaggerating. It doesn't really take that long, but you guys know what I mean when I say that. Do you think that it's good enough where the calls being right is more important than taking away from the moment in your guys' opinion, or?
I mean, I'm going to go back to the word I said earlier, context, when it's your Sunday league team, right, it doesn't really matter what the call is. But when there's so much on the line in the World Cup, right, not just financially but emotionally too for a whole nation, I think it's more important. Again, it depends on what side you're on, right? If your team get a bad call, you don't want to go out that way.
If it goes in your favor, you're for it, whatever that is, right?
Yeah, I agree. Same thing as applied to Omar does.
I don't know. I personally have been on the winning team and been like, we didn't win that. Like, that was a bad call. So I've been on that side where I'm like, I'll take the win.
You admit those things?
I'll take the win.
You say those out loud?
Well, yeah, because I'm a fan of fair games. I want to see my team actually go out and win. I don't want to see my team get 3 or 4 dives in a game that gets them 2 penalties to win it. That's just not my style. I don't appreciate that kind of play. So it's something that I want to see out of the game, is all the diving and all the fake acting. And I think VAR will help us at least start addressing those issues and make the games more fair in general. People don't cheat the ref as much, in my opinion.
Yeah, that, especially when you talk about diving, VAR is great for that, because that really eliminates a lot of that where maybe a referee's not in the best position to see if there was contact, but a player goes down and he has to make that split-second call. He might make the wrong call. Everybody at home might think it's the wrong call, but from his vantage point, it was a foul, right? Yeah. So I think when it comes to diving like that, things like that where mistaken identity, like VAR is very crucial in that regard.
Yeah.
At least keeping the competitive balance, I would say.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's been good. It'll be discussed more. Do you think that you'd like to see it in USL? I know that it was introduced because MLS was using USL as like the guinea pig. Would you like to see it when you go to the games, William? Would you like to see some of those calls being looked at for a second time, or not at this level? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that would be the best thing to make a second call, because I think that would be easily to do for the VAR reaction. No matter how if they play it very well or not, or there are any other possible leftover mistakes that might gonna happen to change the effect of the game.
Yeah. What about you, Omar? What do you think? Would you like to be on the sideline there and see the referee?
There's been times this season for sure that would have been handy. I mean, I think the biggest issue for now is the infrastructure, right? A lot of teams are still kind of struggling just to get the broadcast going, right?
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what having VAR would do to from the flow of the game perspective and technical issues. But once we get there, I mean, let's start first with goal line technology, for instance.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, goal line technology is also a good idea.
Ultimately, I mean, as the league continues to grow and establish itself, sure, I can definitely see it being a part of it and being successful.
Yeah, it's also one of those things too. When we talk about the USL, you have some clubs like our club where we have 10,000 people at a game and multiple cameras and things like that, and then you have some of these clubs that they might be the second teams or some of the smaller clubs that they might not even play in a stadium that's even suitable to have more than one camera angle, so VAR might not even be effective in that regard. So
that's going to always be a problem in this league until it grows as a total league.
Trying to expand more than this.
So the remaining part of the season, we signed Clementa. Usually we, at this time of year, we do get another player. I know that we had Trickett Smith was signed, Bijev last year.
Yeah.
You guys think that we might see another maybe attacking type player come into the squad to kind of make that late season push?
We've seen it, so I think we will. But
we are agree.
But can we consider Clementa our mid-season purchase, or is that just a random lucky purchase?
I think that one.
You think so?
I think the cards fell right for us. We needed a defender, and that worked out.
He became available, and just
But in my opinion, I still think the club looks for another spark, maybe in the attacking third. Yeah, that's just what I think.
I only say yes because it'll be like getting a new player for us when Kevin Alemán returns from injury. Right now he's on the sidelines, and he was showing a lot of potential in the earlier part of the season. Then his knee issues.
Scores that great goal against
free kick. Free kick he had in the Open Cup too was amazing.
I think we've missed him these past few weeks with so many games. It's been great to have him in the rotation. I think the way Todd's been so far, our GM, is he keeps an eye out. I think for any good deal he can get. That's how Jure Matjasic happened. He missed out on his contract with his team in Slovenia, and Todd through his scouting system or whatever found him and picked him up and brought him here. And I think he's been a great addition to the team so far.
Yeah, he's done really well so far. He's settling in, I think, a little bit, but he's done really well.
Yeah, and then same with Emrah, right? Like that opportunity happened, we analyzed it, and he thinks it's a good call, and I agree with that. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be forced. I don't think we're in the market just specifically looking for a player right now, because I think the team, we have what it takes to finish the season strong. But if something comes up, why not?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, it does make sense for Omar. I do really think that the Sacramento Republic FC does seem to show some need a little bit of improvements of it. With the return with Emrah coming back here, so he'll going to play throughout the rest of the entire 2018 season. I think that might be likely to be a considerate effort to make it much more like a better.
On Clementa, where does he slot into the team for you guys? The coach did say that he doesn't necessarily see him as a defender, that he can play in many positions. Yeah. Is that a niggle that he's going to put him somewhere else?
I think he might. I think he might be going to be doing in a different position, actually. I think he could be a little better to be placed as a midfielder side, because I think he might be doing well.
Playing more up the pitch?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't know, honestly. We actually haven't been to practice at all this week, so I haven't seen where he's been training. But he did try out originally for Republic back in 2014 as a midfielder. He had to learn the outside back position. And so he is anytime you have a player that goes into MLS, I think that makes you very versatile, right? Look at Jeremy Hall, Adam Moffat, right? They kind of play different roles in the midfield. When called upon, Jeremy will drop back to defense as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Emrah playing outside of the typical right back. I mean, he did it last season too. When Horta was playing so well, Buckle, I think, understandably didn't want to drop Horta, and we wanted to obviously have Emrah on the field too. So it'll be interesting to see where he slots in.
Yeah, definitely. I think he might be doing for a different position of it.
Yeah, Clementa, it is. We could see him playing as a defender. He could be playing in a back three, a back four. He has the ability to play center back, right back. But we've seen him score goals. We've seen him attack from the outside. So he does bring, like you said, some versatility with the MLS experience, playing with guys like Zlatan every day. Yeah. I mean, he has a few more attacking moves that he can showcase here with us. So I think it's awesome. I mean, I know we're all excited. The fans are excited. Even the fans who kind of saw this coming are still stoked that it happened. But I think that's it for us. You guys want to add anything?
Well, I think that's all I gotta say. So everything is all like the best opportunity for the first time to be interviewing with you guys. It was an amazing experience.
We appreciate having you.
And for you, Omar?
No, yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'll add to the Clemente thing, too, that Coach Elliott isn't afraid to experiment. I mean, look at how he's played Elliott Horde recently as a midfielder.
And that's worked out well.
It worked for Elliott, yeah.
I think we can expect a lot of good things from this team with his presence in there now. So when is this video going live?
Probably Saturday morning.
Probably Saturday morning.
All right, well, everybody come out to the game. It's going to be a great celebration for the 5-year anniversary.
Yeah, we talked about in our pre-match video that's coming out. We want to see that home spark. Like I think our with the last couple results at home, and maybe the heat, like the fans have been kind of down. But now that we have the celebration on Saturday, we have Emrah coming back. We're playing the first place team. Like it's a perfect storm for TVB and all the real fans out there to like come out and have a good time, have a good Saturday, and I think we're coming out with a win. To be honest with you, I think this is like the start to the push to the rest of the season.
Nice.
Let's hope so. And to add to that, fans will also see the stadium in a completely different manner as well. We're going to be doing certain decorations, having certain historical kind of artifacts to kind of commemorate all different seasons so far. So it'll be a treat to come out and experience.
So what you're saying is come out early, experience the entire, the entire experience. That's great. We'll be out there early. I know we'll see you guys, but I think that's it for us. Hope to see you guys all out there. Of course, subscribe and share if you like the content. And thanks for watching.
All right, see ya.
Cheers.
Republic!